Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video I discussed about CRR, NDTL, SLR, OMO and CRAR. In this video I am going to proceed further and going to discuss little more about CRAR, about the microfinance, niche banks, PSL and about the BC model of the banking which was launched in the year 2006. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump to the first topic, which is CRAR. For understanding this, first we have understood that the banks need to maintain a minimum ratio of their total risk weighted assets in the form of core capital or readily available capital to meet any economic crisis. And this is called the CRAR. This is called the adequacy ratio. Any asset which are risky like loans, they cannot be asset. So there should be some money which should be kept as the free liquidity. Under the risk weighted assets, the loans to be given by the banks are largely included. In the core capital, the dominant item is the equity capital, and this is not a loan amount. So there will be no interest to be given by the bank. It is the risk-free capital. In the core capital, we include those capital which do not create any problem to the issuer. And the other name is ready available capital. According to the Basel, which is in Switzerland, Basel III norms, the minimum level of CRAR is 8%, but in India, its minimum level is 9%. Bank of International Settlement in the Basel, Switzerland, they create criteria to be followed to have good banking so that the banks will not be get failed or they will not be a bankruptcy. From the year 2013 to 2019, it was expected to be maintained, but due to COVID, it was shifted a little. So we are having 1% extra from the recommended one by the Basel. And apart from the above, there was one concept, that is CCB, which means capital conservation buffer. We all have the buffer, means there is an extra of something, which is of minimum 2.5, and it is to be maintained in the form of equity capital. With this ratio, the total requirement becomes 11.5, which is 9% of CRAR plus 2.5% of the CCB, which is the buffer liquidity, or we can say the buffer equity capital. There is a concept of capital conservation buffer. To understand this, let us draw a diagram. As I have mentioned in this, there is CCB which is 2.5 and the CRAR which is the inner circle of this, which is 9%. So whenever there is an economic crisis hits any system, it is first going to consume the CCB. So the CRAR, which is the bigger part, is going to be safe. And whenever the crisis is over, we are going to fill the CCB again. So we can say it is a kind of ring fencing. It is something like Project Tiger, which was launched in India, where there was a buffer zone created beyond the area of reserve area for the tiger. And after that buffer area, the roads and other constructions were done so that the tigers were safe and even the people were also saved. Next, we have to understand the microfinance. Microfinance means the banking for the poor. In it, various financial services are provided to lower income people. So the target group is the lower income people. It is to be noted that the values of financial services must also be lower. So the amount is to be micro, means only the small amount to be provided to the lower income people. Here the middle or the middle standard people are also not included in this. Lower strata or the lower standard or the people who belongs to lower group is going to be decided by RBI only. Next, we are having the coverage of scope. The following activities are included in microfinance in India. First is credit, second is pension and insurance, third is the remittance of funds, and the last one is the collective of thrift, savings from spending less. For saving, there is less spending done, means there is compromise done. Whenever there is, we want to save, we are going to do some compromise. We are going to spend less, then only there will be a saving. But we can see many a times that the capitalists, they are not compromising anything. They are not sacrificing. We have seen many a times this happening in the society. They are spending enormously, but even then they are able to save. So we can say that tendency of saving is inherent. Everyone, even the animals, are saving for the future. We have seen the ants. They are carrying things and they are trying to save for the future. Remittance means transfer of money from one place to another. Next, whenever there is a collection of thrift, means it is a kind of safety. There are many people who are trying to even loot the poor. To save these people from loot, government has come with the feature which is known as microfinance, and through which this there is a loss, there the people are going to be saved, and this is known as a collective of thrift. In India, microfinance was started by NABARD in the year 1992 when it launched SBLP. This was for the bank linkage program. This was a bank linkage program for the self-help group. Banks give loans to the self-help groups of the poor people for any projects, and they cannot, since they cannot, these self-help group people are very poor and they are having the very less, what to say, money. So what they can do, they are going to work on the society. They are going to hire the people who are their own people or the local people. They cannot hire anybody who is from outside. It is the employment of poor people, and the cost of production will increase if there will be external worker. So the self-help group or is the group where all the members are going to work. So it is the responsibility of everyone. Whenever there is a loan taken by the SHG, then it is not by the head, because everybody is head in the self-help group. So everybody is taking to the responsibility of that loan. So each person is going to pay their share. So it is not on the load of any one person in this. So this is very successful also. The development of microfinance is checked by NABARD, and RBI is the only regulatory body. This is the direct lending to the poor. Still, many microfinances which are not the same functionaries or like NABARD is having, they are not being preferred as they are working as a mediator. And whenever the concept of mediator comes, there is many a times we have seen that they are exploiting, and due to exploitation many of the poor people, they have committed suicide also. So the intermediaries or between the bank and poor as the microfinance is not preferable, and still the best one is the self-help group. Then we are having the niche bank. Here the banks to cater to needs of a specific group of people, and there are two different examples. First is the payment banks and the other one is the small financial bank. I am going to discuss these two one by one. The first one is the payment banks. It accepts deposit maximum of rupees 2 lakhs. Initially it was only for 1 lakh. By this we can understand that this is for the poor people only. People will have the smaller income, so they are going to get associated with such banks. They cannot give loans or credit. Even the credit cards cannot be given by them. They are allowed to give loans or give credit cards it is not there, and cause the poor people cannot do business with the loans. They can marketize insurance policies like the mutual funds, etc. They can do marketing on their platform, but they are not doing, means they cannot sell their own mutual fund. They are just providing the platform. We can understand this by an example of an e-commerce of like Flipkart of Amazon. They are not selling anything, they are not selling their own product, they are just providing a platform for the different companies to sell their product through them. There are different policies or laws for that, and if suppose they are trying to work beyond their policies, they are being treated also, means they are being punished also. They are to park at least 75% of deposit in GSEC. This is the other source of income. The first source of income is the selling of the mutual fund of different companies or banks, and the second is they are going to park at least 75% of deposits in GSEC. The SLR is 75%, means with the government security. These are features by which we can understand that this is working of a niche bank. Next is the small financial bank. They are having the feature as they can accept the deposit, they can give loans. At least 50% of loans must be of the value not more than 25 lakhs each. Means if suppose they are providing 100 people with loans, they can provide at 50 people the loans below 25 lakhs each, and other 50% they can provide more than that also. Next, they are to serve mainly the following people. First is the small business unit, secondly to the small marginal farmers, next are unorganized sector units, and the last one is the micro and small enterprises. Now, minimum PSL target is 75%. We have came across a new concept which is PSL. I am going to discuss about it in detail. First, the concept of niche bank was implemented in India on the recommendation of Nachiket More Committee. Now, the next heading for us is PSL, and full form of PSL is Priority Sector Lending. Now, the banks are required to allocate certain proportions of their lending to some specified areas, and this is known as PSL, or we can say the Priority Sector Lending. It is also called the directed lending, means they are directed by the RBI. There are the following prominent area. First is the agriculture, then exports, third is BPL and the weaker section. BPL means the people below the poverty line, and weaker section when the people are not below the poverty line but somehow they are not at the socially or economically they are not with the strong economics. Economically they are not strong. Next is the education. Fifth one is the social infra, under which we can understand the school building, hospitals, pipelines, library, and even the Anganwadi building. All these are coming under this social infra. So they have to give loan to this people also. The next one is the renewable energy, and the last one is the MSME. Now these three, the last three one was included in the year 2015, which means the social infrastructure, renewable energy, and the MSMES, where M is included in, or we can say added in 2015. Now banks are required to allocate certain proportion for certain areas. It is the directive given by RBI, and RBI is having. Now we have to understand one thing, and that was the question: what is the autonomy of RBI? The governor of the RBI is going to follow the Ministry of Finance. Means the governor are working on behalf of the Ministry of Finance, or they cannot ignore the directives of the Ministry of Finance. So we can say that the Central Bank of India is not autonomous. So RBI is always in touch with the government. We have to understand one more thing, and that is the social backwardness. When it is about the weaker section, there can be many reason, because of the low caste in the society, or because of the educational backwardness. We can have the less economic backward, we can have the less economic development, and which leads to economic backwardness, and there comes the weaker section. These are the people under the weaker section, because they cannot work in the productive areas, because they are being sidelined by the upper caste people, or sometimes with the people who are having more education, or sometimes the people who are below the some other caste, or they are not provided with a good education, and even they, if they want to work, they are not provided with the best facility to earn. We can find this in the upper caste also, means even the people who are belonging to the upper caste, and if they are highly educated, then also they can fall under the poor section of the society. And then this, there can be many reasons, and these are under the weaker section. Nowadays these are leading to social development, which will finally lead to economic development. Whatever these prominent areas are there, like agriculture, exports, BPL and weaker section, education, social infra, renewable energy, and MES. If we are going to support these, by this we can lead to social development. Cause whenever these areas are being touched or being helped, then we are finally leading the economic development, because these are the ones who are lagging behind. So by this we can have the social development, economic development, and we can say it will lead to GDP, because literacy lead to increase in GDP. Next, the present level of PSL is 40% minimum for the following two types of banks. It's 75%. These are SFBS and RRBS. RRBs are regional rural banks. This is all about PSL. Let's go for the next heading, and that is PSLC. Here C stand for certificates. They are to be purchased by the banks who fail to achieve the target of PSL. Suppose there is a target which is set by the RBI, that you have to give loans like 2 crores to this section. Means you have to distribute your money 2 crore in the form of loan to these particular sections, and if by their any reason they are unable to do so, then they have to buy some certificates, which is almost cost of for 25 lakh. And if suppose they are lagging for 1 crore, or we can say 50 lakh, then they have to buy two certificates, each one of for costing 25 lakh. By this they can reduce that, they can achieve that target. These certificates are available on Ecobear, and in the year 2016 RBI introduces. They have introduced one more thing, that was the carbon credit. We all have discussed before about it, that there are limitations set by government for the factories, that up to what limit they can exhibit carbon. And to reduce the exhibit of carbon, they have used the different sources, or we can say different tools, so that the carbon emission can be reduced. And if they are able to reduce the carbon emission, they can get the good certificate, or they can get the carbon credit by the government. And this is promoting, or by this they are getting motivated, and there will be a monetary benefit. So the people are getting motivated to do good work for the environment. Now let's understand the next topic, which is the financial inclusion mission, or we can say the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which was launched in the year 2014. This is having various features such as the zero balance account. Previously, it was known as no frills account. Means you had no need to keep a minimum balance. Next is deposits. Third one is remittance. Then the RuPay card. Fifth is linkage of DBT. Sixth is linkage of pension and insurance. Seventh one is overdraft facility, and it is maximum of rupees 10,000. And the last one is accidental insurance, and that is for 2 lakh. See, with the overdraft facility is for like people if suppose they are not having sufficient balance in their account and they have to withdraw, then up to 10,000 extra they can withdraw, and that too with the recommendation of the manager. And life insurance, we all know this was added newly, and whenever there is insurance was for many very few days. Those who joined this in the beginning in this scheme, they were able to get benefit of the life insurance, but after that they removed it from the list and they have the accidental insurance. So by mistake, if they anyone who is having this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana scheme, if they have some fatal accident or they met an accident by which there is a loss of life, they can claim for insurance and they will be provided of rupees 2 lakh each. Now next is the BC model of banking, which was introduced in the year 2006. Now BC stands for business correspondent. Banking service is less populated in the less populated rural areas are provided through some individuals which are known as bank mitre. A low cost model as compared to the brick and mortar model. We all know it is not easy to make new branches or to construct new branches in the rural areas because it costs high, and even there is very less population also, so the business cannot going to give high profit. So what happened in those areas that some individuals who are appointed by the banks to work or to go people to people, or like there are some centers for it. These are like the people who are hired as like ex-servicemen or even the shopkeepers, and they are being chosen so that the commission is and they are provided with some commission, and by this the people are getting connected to the services of bank. So by this even many people are getting facility of banking with the low cost of the government. By this I'm concluding my video. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thank you.